champion Chris Weidman and former light heavyweight champ Victor Belfort have been trying to meet for some time now, but once again, their matchup will have to wait. Slated to be the main event at UFC 184, that bout has again been rescheduled because Weidman suffered an injury in training. That makes this the third time this matchup has been pushed back. That means the co-main event between women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey and Kat Zingano becomes the main event. Ronda Rousey at 10-0 and Zingano at 9-0 were supposed to be the coaches of the Ultimate Fighter 18, but Zingano tore her ACL and then her husband committed suicide, so to say the least, she has had a lot going on outside of the octagon. She finally will get her chance to take on Rousey, who has gone past the first round just once and has stopped all 10 of her fights. Zingano has stopped 8 of her 9 fights, and it'll be interesting to see if she wants to go to the mat with Rousey, who has become renowned for her armbar technique. In the Raquel Pennington vs. Holly Holm fight, for women's bantamweight, Pennington is 5-4 and Holm at 7-0 were due to fight at UFC 181, but Holm had a neck injury, so Pennington ended up submitting Ashley Evans-Smith. Holm brings her unbeaten record to the UFC, as this will be her promotional debut, and she was the first legacy women's bantamweight champion as one of the best female boxers of all time. Pennington is well-rounded, but she might be better off taking this fight to the mat, because standing up with Holm would not be smart. In the Jake Ellenberger vs. Josh Koscheck welterweight fight, this could be a loser leaves town match, as Ellenberger at 29-9 and Koscheck at 17-8 have both lost 3 in a row. Koscheck stepped in for Neil Magny, who was moved to UFC Fight Night 60, and after losing 2 fights in a row via KO or TKO, he might want to use his wrestling background to stay away from Ellenberger's punching power. Ellenberger is a decent wrestler as well, but he'll look to keep this fight on his feet and try to test Koscheck's suspect chin, although they were both knocked out by current welterweight champion Robbie Lawler in the last 2 years. In the Alan Jubin vs. Richard Walsh fight, Alan Jubin comes in at 10-3 and Richard Walsh at 8-2. They will square off in a welterweight matchup. Jubin is fresh off a disputed loss in Brazil, and he'll be happy to fight in front of a more familiar and possibly more friendly audience at the Staples Center in UFC 184. His loss to Warley Alves was highly questionable as the media and fans ripped apart the decision. Nonetheless, he's got to pick up the pieces. He's still won 9 of his last 11 fights and will go up against Walsh, who has won 8 of his last 10. In the Tony Ferguson vs. Gleison Tibau lightweight fight, Ferguson comes in at 17-3, and he won the Ultimate Fighter 13 and has quietly won his last 4 matches, and another would definitely push him up in the pecking order in a loaded 155-pound division. The California native is extremely well-rounded with 9 knockouts and 5 submission wins. He is comfortable wherever this fight can go. He was supposed to fight Yancy Medeiros at 11-2 with 1 NC, but he's out and Gleison Tibau at 33-10 steps in on short notice. Tibau has been a bit of a roll lately, winning 5 of his last 6 bouts, including a split decision over Norman Park at UFC Fight Night 59. He has the most wins in UFC lightweight history and the 3rd most in any weight class. For our predictions, more information and statistics on every game and sporting event this week, check out the Bang the Book Betting Center. And remember that the Bang the Book Betting Center is your best resource for information before you make your weekly assault on the sportsbooks.